In this episode, we talk about human kindness and fun things to do in Portland, and how face-to-face in real life human interaction is the lifeblood of a healthy you and a healthy society too.
That's so nice. I'm Sienna.
And I'm Toast.
We're partners in love, life, and music, and we've been together since 2001.
With each episode of this podcast, our goal is to help our fellow LGBT community members lift their lives to the next level.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my. Lions and tigers and freaking bears. Okay.
All right. Hi, guys.
Hello. Are you still there? Hello. Hello. How are you doing?
Hello, everyone.
You?
I know. It's been a very strenuous week.
Historic and a very trying,
Very emotional week. Yes,
for
it has
the
been.
country.
Yeah.
For many of us. So we just want to acknowledge that right up front because, you know,
We do,
it's not
yeah.
all rainbows and unicorns and lollipops all the time. But
But they're still there.
The rainbows and unicorns
Yes.
and lollipops, they do exist.
They still exist.
Along with big bad wolves, right? And all kinds of other things.
Right. Right.
So,
Okay, so we are keeping it a light podcast ish, and I think that everyone could use a little bit of a lightness right now. But we do have to say that we do have things to say about what's going on politically, but we'll be preparing something for you all next week. So we are coming off of some wonderful friends that have visited. And so
that's right. In previous episodes, we mentioned how many visitors have been wanting to come visit us in Portland. A lot of friends, not just from California, from other places too, have visited us here in the Pacific Northwest in weird Portland, Oregon. And it's been a lot of fun. And we have been so grateful to have them here.
we have.
Because, you know, we've only been here for less than a year, so it's not like we have a ton of face-to-face friends here yet.
We have some. 4.
We have some.
We do. But
And we value them and we love them and we're so grateful for them. But it has been nice to have friends at our fingertips because they've come and visited us. And so in this episode, we're going to be talking about what we've been doing and the sights we've seen and the foods we've eaten and how that's so good for our health and psychological well-being.
yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Well, why don't we move on to a review from the community?
Yeah.
Okay. So first of all, before I read this review, thank you so much for those of you leaving reviews because it helps. It helps to get the podcast. I mean, you're probably tired of hearing me say that, but
They know how it helps. Okay,
you guys know how it helps.
Do it.
But wait, I do want to add, because it takes time to leave a review.
I know.
You know, I mean, we're not getting just like one sentence, one word reviews, even though you could do that.
And we will appreciate that too.
Right.
And it helps.
It's like,
that
you
helps
know,
too.
People. Okay, so this one.
I love the handle for this one.
Okay.
The person's name, their profile name.
Oh, you love their handle?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is from Roxy Raul.
Oh, it's not token hetero? I thought that's what it's going to be from.
What?
Token hetero?
No, her handle, I guess, is her name.
Oh,
Right?
okay. So
Roxy
token
Raul.
hetero was the title
Yes,
of the review.
Token Hetero
I got
is
confused.
the title of the review.
I got confused.
And this is what Roxy says. This is what the Token Hetero had to say. So she says, this podcast is aimed at the LGBTQ crowd, but it's really a must listen for everyone. Sienna and Toast are fun while staying positive and focused on living their lives to the fullest. The way they reveal personal details about themselves is reminiscent of character development in a good book or TV series. I can't wait for the next episode. That's a nice review.
Yeah.
Thank you, Roxy.
That was a very literary review with the character development thing.
I know. What do you think Roxy does? Do you think she's a writer?
Maybe. Or she's a reader for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a TV watcher.
Thank you.
Thank you, Roxy. So, Roxy, if you would like a little gift from us, we would love to give you a gift. So just go ahead and email us, and we're happy to send that out to you. You can also message us on Instagram as well. So thank you.
Okay, so next.
Do you smell that?
What? Ooh, what's that?
That's brown rice.
Oh.
Some nice, comforting food that we need.
With B vitamins, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't brown rice have B vitamins?
It has B vitamins. All right, just had to bring that up because our whole... Can't you smell it?
Because that's what's happening.
Can't you smell it? It smells
now
so
I
good.
can. I wasn't
Yummy.
noticing it, but now I... Okay.
Okay, what are we talking about?
All right. So before we talk about all the things that we've done with our visitors, like places we've eaten and activities we've done, we thought we would mention this thing you may or may not have heard of called blue zones. And we learned about blue zones quite a few years back.
Yeah.
Because the area that we were living in at the time had a community initiative. I would imagine that the local city was involved as well at the government level to improve the quality of life for its citizens, which is kind of the purpose of government and a community in the first place. But but the blue zones, a blue zone is a place on the planet where the people in that community have longer lives than average. Right? Something like that.
Yes.
Okay. And the fascinating thing is what are the things that seem to contribute to this longer life? And some
being
of the
happy.
And some of the
happiness is one of them.
Happiness. If you're happy, you're going to want to stay alive longer, I guess.
Right. But why are these people so happy?
Yeah.
So there are so many factors that we're not going to go through right now. But the one that we do want to address is that face-to-face connections are truly important to your health and happiness.
Like that was one of the main...
That was one of the top two. Yes.
Okay. Hello. It's in the top two.
Yes.
So
face-to-face connections with people that you see regularly. And another factor is that people you want to see.
People that give you life.
And it can be as simple as the bank teller. That's not a good example because who walks into a bank? No one. Right?
Not anymore, right?
It might be your mail carrier. You know, someone that you just say, hey, how are you?
Or the barista.
Thank you.
The barista where you always go to get your coffee.
Get your coffee, you say, hey. So even though these connections might feel very surface level and just part of your day, they're a really important part of your day. Having that face-to-face, quick hello. It could be even a little bit longer. How are you doing? Did you have a great weekend? Whatever it might be. But that face-to-face interaction with people that you get to know in your community is super important to the level of happiness that you feel.
That is very cool.
So it includes that, which I was surprised by. But it, of course, also includes people that you absolutely trust. And they recommend having just 2 people. They say 2 to 3 is totally enough. 2 to 3. Because these are vault friends. These are the friends that, you know, you can share your true self with. People that you can say near anything to. People that will hold your secrets and sharings in confidence. And they will keep it in the vault.
People you can call at 3 a.m.
Yes.
And they'll be there for you.
And all you need, two.
And you'll be there for them.
Yes.
Yes.
Because you also have to think like, oh, that's all I need, just 2. But really, you're also nurturing these relationships. So you're going to nurture these friendships. So you know, it's not ideal to have like 8.
It's it's impossible.
That's too many.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The depth
You
is
can't
what
go deep.
what precludes you having, 5, 10
Right.
of these types of. You can't do
Right.
it. You need to have that depth. Okay,
So-
blue zones.
Oh,
That's having that face to face in real life, flesh and blood, like breathing the same air in the same room, not through the screen, not through the headphones, not through FaceTime. We're talking about actual old fashioned. I can reach out and shake your hand.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. So having that face to face on a consistent basis.
Yeah.
And having 2, maybe 3 of those types of 3 a.m. in the morning emergency type of friends where you guys know each other's stories. And also having just regular, consistent, friendly interactions with like the person.
People that you want to see. People
a
that you
server
enjoy
at a local
seeing.
restaurant. And
It's not the people you don't want to see.
not the people you have to tolerate, not the people you have to put up with.
It's like people you genuinely like, you know.
And easily like.
Easily like. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So why are we even bringing this up? Well, as we mentioned earlier, we've been so fortunate to have friends want to come and visit us and use us as an excuse to visit Portland.
Can't blame them.
Yeah. So we were like, hey, come on over. And so truly we've had, what is it? Okay, October. So we've had 15 visitors. And if my brothers...
Helping us to live longer.
Yeah.
So
if my brothers
thanks.
end up coming into town, by the end of this year, we'll have had 17. So I think this is a nice, I feel like all of our friends really helped us like training wheels, in moving away. It almost feels like, okay, we kind of did move away. We saw all our friends, it's like little training wheels.
Yeah.
But it really helped us because, Toast and I, and we've shared this before, we can get into our own bubble with our heads down, just working or doing a project or, and we don't come up for air and decide, hey, let's go do this social thing and let's call so-and-so and let's hang out. Like really, that's something we want to get better at.
Yes.
So as we are creating and nurturing our existing 4 friends out here, as we do that, it's been nice to have friends come here to us because it's, we absolutely enjoyed seeing them, but it did push us to, because it's a trip.
It gives us an excuse, right?
It gives us an
excuse to show up and do face to face. Hey, let's hang out. Let's
Yeah.
go to this
And
restaurant.
do
Let's
something
try this
different.
bar.
Yes,
let's
yes,
go
yes, to
let's-
try different things.
Yeah, let's do this field trip. That we probably, to be honest, would not have prioritized if it was just us.
Oh,
right?
totally.
So
Let
So
alone
thanks, friends.
ask our existing 4 friends, hey, let's go out and do,
Yeah, so thanks,
But we
friends.
are getting better at that. Okay. Yes.
So
thank
let's
you,
talk
friends.
about the things that we did.
Oh, okay. Jeez. All right. Well, before that, I want to talk about the birds.
Yes, that's what I want to talk about first too.
Okay. But we didn't do that with visitors.
Yeah, we didn't.
Yeah,
huh?
so I don't- so that's why
what's
I'm
the
like-
connection?
It was just cool. So, well, what was great is that
Well, we found out about it through friends who are visiting here.
we did, but we got to be around pleasant people in a face-to-face way.
That's true. That's true.
So
Yes.
that helped us.
Yes.
Right.
So, okay, here's what we did. We found out through a friend who was visiting, who did her research and did her homework about what there is to do in Portland in September, right? They found out that one of the big natural events that happens in Portland is the migration of a bird called the Vox's swift. We never heard of this before. But just minutes from our house happens to be one of the main roosting places for these types of birds as they migrate south for the winter.
Yeah.
So why is it... Did I say it was at a local elementary school?
No.
Okay.
You did not.
So the roosting location happens to be in this gigantic chimney that used to be part of the furnace for a local elementary school. So the Vox's swifts have been roosting in this school furnace chimney since 1982.
That's crazy.
1982. That just so happens to be a year that was significant this past week too, but that's just a coincidence. Okay, so what happened was the swifts would arrive in the fall at the same time that the students did, right? And what is so heartening is that because of their concern for the birds that were roosting in this furnace chimney, the students and the staff of this elementary school decided to not turn on the furnace.
They froze.
And they just endured these chilly days without any heat in their school until the swifts left the chimney and they continued on their migration.
That's my kind of people, you know?
That's human
That's
kindness.
my kind of people.
That's human kindness, right?
For the birds.
And only in 2001, as a result of fundraising efforts by the school, by the Audubon Society, by the public schools, they basically have the furnace converted to natural gas. And the bricks in this original furnace were just preserved so it could simply be a roosting site. So now the school has heat and
the birds are safe.
The birds are safe while the school still has heat. But I think that's so cool.
I love that.
Yeah. And why this is an event, you may be wondering, okay, birds in a chimney, okay. But there are hundreds and thousands of birds that will just fly in a group through the air. It's kind of like those, if you've seen videos of the schools of fish that will move through the water as one, and they turn on a dime, and this huge school of fish does it.
What it was like.
Yeah, but these birds do it in the air.
So they do that, and they make. So first you see, like, oh, there's a few birds.
A few birds,
and then they kind of go away. Then you're like, oh, there's more birds.
More birds joining them.
As time goes on, there's a lot of birds. And they're flying in circles, going one way and then sometimes the other way.
It's like this whole choreographed thing in the air above you. And what's fantastic is the whole hillside adjacent to the school, on the school grounds, is covered with, it's all these people that have come to watch the Vox's swifts. People have blankets and mats they're lying on. They have their folding chairs unfolded. Their dogs are with them. Families bringing pizzas.
There's wine and French bread and all kinds of things happening.
Thermoses with cups. And we're all just sitting there on the hillside waiting for the birds to come.
So what happens is you have to find out when your sun is setting.
Oh, yes.
When is the sun going to set today?
Yes.
And then you make sure, because you want a good spot on the lawn, even though there was a lot of spaces, right? That you are there an hour ahead of the sunset time.
Because that's when the birds start arriving. It happens just only in the hour before sunset. And I'll tell you,
these birds, they know
when the sun is setting.
They do, because the sun was supposed to set at 7.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, 6:53.
Okay, 6:53. By the time we got to our car, the event was over. By the time we got to our car, it was 7:05. That's pretty amazing. They're pretty accurate.
Yeah. So after the birds do this whole dance in the air with all of their families and their species, right?
Yep.
They swirl and then they dive into the chimney.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like anyway.
Yeah.
They're flying.
It's so cool, you guys.
And I don't know how they don't injure themselves because they look like they're going into that
God.
chimney pretty fast.
They do.
But in groups, they'll go into the chimney in groups. So how this show works, look, this whole podcast is going to be taken up by the foxes swift. Okay,
I know.
But I have to share it.
Okay, share it.
Okay, so as you're sitting there in the hour before sunset, what you see as you look up into the sky is a slowly gathering swarm of this huge flock of birds, right? Slowly, it gathers slowly, and oh my gosh. At the peak, there's this huge flock of birds that's doing this amazing choreographed dance in the air. And as you keep watching, this huge flock of birds diminishes because in small groups, they are going into the chimney where they are going to rest and sleep for the night. So this huge flock slowly diminishes and gets smaller and smaller because group by group, they're going into the chimney as they pass the chimney and doing their dance.
But when they start going into the chimney in their little groups, that doesn't just happen. It's like really much closer to sunset. So you're sitting there.
That's true.
Maybe for 15 minutes, 20 minutes with nothing. Then the birds, then you just start seeing them and they're dancing for a good amount of time. Mm-hmm. And then as it's about maybe 10, 15 minutes before sunset, then they start going in.
Groups of them going into the chimney, and they do a swoop by the chimney, and whoop, a group of them goes in. Yeah. Then they do another pass by the chimney, and another group goes in, whoop, and the group is the flock of birds is getting smaller and smaller. And what was so delightful to me was at the very end, it's just a small little group left that needs to go into the chimney, right? And the sun is almost going to set. The sun is almost going to set, so they're flying by the chimney, and then all of them go in and people start to clap. Yay! All of us are clapping on the hillside, except one of them doesn't go in. One of the birds don't go in. So then people on the hillside are clapping. We're all clapping. Oh.
But see,
it's a community experience.
So do you think he
by nature? I freaking love it.
Do you think he went in?
Yes. I didn't see him.
But
I think
he
went
see
in.
Him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's a rebel.
He is a rebel.
Okay. So thank you for listening to us go on and on about the Voxes Swift. We're going to put a video. We'll link to a video so you can see what we're talking about. And maybe
it's not a video
won't
we
sound as
took.
crazy.
Yeah, it's not a video we took, though. We tried, but I don't know what it is.
But you can, I'm so appreciative of the community experience of it. You know, getting out there with your neighbors, sitting on a lawn and watching birds.
I know.
It's great. You know, it's like a ticket to a concert, except it's free and it's nature. Thank you. The Voxes Swift Tour.
Yes. Yeah. But I think you should share what's so unique about these birds.
So,
because I thought
what I was amazed by,
interesting.
They have on the grounds of the school, they have plaques right up so you can educate yourself about what you're seeing. And one of the panels explains how these birds are able to eat and I think mate and even sleep while they're flying. Their feet are not even designed for them to perch on branches of trees.
That's crazy.
They don't do that. They're not those kinds of birds, apparently. Their feet and their bodies are designed to either fly or to perch and hang on vertical surfaces. So out in nature, where there aren't chimneys, these birds would normally roost in the stumps of trees, you know. And I think they mentioned they also roosted in on the pyramids, like the Mayan pyramids and stuff like that. Yeah, something like that.
But crazy.
Just nature is pretty amazing. Yeah. So they would drink, they drink water by skimming the surface of bodies of water, and they'll just get a drink of water that way. They won't even stop to drink from something. They'll just fly, and their diet is mostly insects. So they'll just catch insects in the air.
Oh my gosh. Amazing. I couldn't be that bird.
No,
that wouldn't be me.
No, good thing you're not that.
No, I couldn't be that bird. Oh man. Okay. Well, look what time it is.
I know.
What are we gonna do?
Well, let's list the things that we
just
did.
a few things. So anyways, I know in one of the podcasts we mentioned hopefully being able to record a podcast with some of our friends that came to visit who are also listeners to the podcast, listeners of the podcast. But it just didn't work out that way. And that's okay because we got to really prioritize the face-to-face time.
Yeah.
And that was really nice
with them.
So there might be something in the future. We can work something out in that way. So anyways, there's not going to be a podcast coming regarding...
It's not imminent. Let's put it that way.
It's not. But we did get to try a lot of different new places, which has been nice. One of the places that I had forgotten about because everything is just running together in my mind is the Woodblock Chocolate Company.
Oh, yeah.
That was fantastic, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. It's a chocolate cafe. We learned about resting chocolate.
Yes, resting chocolate. So, I don't know if you all remember Flicks.
I don't. What is that?
Flicks.
This
is like such an old school candy where it came in like a skinnier toilet paper roll, like cardboard.
Okay.
And you open one end and it was like small solid wafers of chocolate.
Okay.
Do you remember Flicks?
Maybe vaguely. It's what you're describing is making when you talk about old school, candies. I'm thinking of what is that? Violet
crumble?
Was it violet?
Oh, violets. The little squares
candy? Of hard. Yeah, I'm thinking of that.
Yucky. You like that? Did you like that?
It was okay.
Oh, yucky. Yuck. Do you remember Sen gum?
No.
Ugh, that was yucky too.
I remember Rolos. Do they still have Rolos?
Rolos. What is a Rolo?
It also came in that like a Lifesaver kind of tube, and it was a circular chocolate with caramel in the middle.
I don't know that one.
Okay. Wow.
I don't know that one.
Okay. We're striking out with the chocolate reminiscence.
So Flicks. Okay, so Flicks kind of had like a little topper. It sort of looked like a much flatter Hershey's Kiss.
Okay, like a squashed Hershey's Kiss.
But it kind of had like that little middle dollop thing.
Okay.
So Woodblock Chocolate Company sells their chocolate. One of the forms is in these flat wafers. So it didn't have the little curl at the top, but it was a flat, solid wafer of chocolate. And they have all kinds of chocolate from all over the world, which is pretty amazing. They make it in Portland, Oregon. And
so the beans are from all over the world.
Yes. And they created something called resting chocolate, which are these really cute mason jars of these wafers of solid chocolate and resting in some kind of herb. So the one that I tried, it was resting in mint. So dried mint leaves. And it tasted totally like mint chocolate. But there was no mint in it. Crazy.
It's like flower essence chocolates.
Well, I don't think so. Because flower essences don't have the plant matter in it, right? It's just the blueprint.
It's the water.
Yeah, but this was the plant matter. This was actual dried mint leaves. But it was so good. So if you are in Portland, you have to go down to this place and try it.
And they were so nice.
And they were very nice.
They educated us about that. And another drink that was they educated us about drinking chocolate
versus hot chocolate. So drinking chocolate is like drinking a melted candy bar.
basically.
Seriously.
Like super intense, man.
Yeah.
It's like what drinking chocolate is to hot chocolate, what espresso is to coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Kind of like that.
So we learned about chocolate from Woodblock Chocolate. Mm-hmm. Another place we went to was...
Well, okay. I don't know. At this point, what? Should I just run down the list of all places?
Sure. And we can just pause on certain places, certain ones.
So, you guys, there are so... Okay, so we've only been here less than a year.
Right.
And so far... These are the places that we love and would recommend for people visiting Portland, Oregon. One place is the Oregon Humane Society. Okay, so even if you might be an animal lover that is averse to going to shelters and rescues.
Understandably so.
And you still might feel a little twinge because you're picking up on an animal, but... You mean
picking up on an animal's distress and
their emotional
right?
state. Yeah, because, some of them are still afraid, regardless of how nice the place is and how well.
Sure.
You must go there, Oregon Humane Society.
They are an incredible organization. They are not affiliated with the American Humane Society,
right? Which
I didn't realize until doing a little more research. They're an independent organization. What's amazing is they have their offices today on the very same exact grounds that they began in.
I love that.
Over 100 years ago.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Oregon Humane Society. Multnomah Falls is also another must-see.
Mm-hmm. I'll now just say the Oregon Humane Society again. They also have an on-site pet cemetery. It might sound a little creepy, but you can see gravestones literally from
1800s.
The 1800s there for people who love their pets so much. They are a no-kill shelter. So all the animals you see there, are either going to find homes or they're going to stay there until they do find homes.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have an on-site veterinary clinic. And they have fantastic rooms for the cats to roam around in and socialize.
The rooms are themed.
And yes, it really
There's like
is
an Egypt room.
Egyptian room, yeah. It really is incredible. So that's why we're recommending it and just singing its praises. They're amazing.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah. And they've adopted out, I believe, over 6,000 pets just this year.
I believe it.
So far. Yeah. So it's fantastic. Okay, so I mentioned Multnomah Falls. But I would check, actually, before you go...
To Multnomah Falls?
Yeah, because we've been a few times now, and at certain times, the falls are much more abundant than other times. So I would say maybe coming off of winter.
Yeah, I think springtime is probably where you're going to get the most water falling off
summer,
of there.
Yeah. So make sure you check because I think it makes a difference. Yeah. Also, we mentioned a few podcast episodes ago, the grotto. That's something we also would recommend. The Japanese gardens.
Portland Japanese Gardens. Who would have thought? But apparently that's one of the most
beautiful.
Yeah, that's one of the best Japanese gardens in the United States.
Yep. And if you're going to the Portland Japanese Garden, you must go to the International Rose
Test Garden. Yeah, it's right there.
Which is right there. So we would recommend those places. And also, of course, because we've dedicated an episode to it, the alpacas.
Yes.
Right. We went again, people.
Yeah. Oh, and I have to say,
yes,
about the Portland Japanese Gardens, I would highly, highly, highly recommend that if you do visit there, that you take advantage of one of their tours, their free tours.
Absolutely.
It really helps you to appreciate more of what you're seeing.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have the tour, it's not as great.
And I'm now thinking of this. Toast and I have only been once, and it was to see the Indigo Girls concert. But that we did go to the Oregon Zoo.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Super impressive. Zoos are hard to... It's like, okay, where do you stand in terms of zoos?
I think it's a net gain. I think it's a net positive. Yeah, the animals are captive animals, But I think zoos do important educational work and
If it's
preservation.
the right zoo.
Yeah,
And this was a
preservation
great
work,
zoo.
research
Yes.
work. I think
This was a
it's a
great
net
zoo.
positive.
So we would recommend the zoo. Also, take a visit to Mount Tabor Park.
Mount Tabor Park, yes.
That was just incredible
Yeah.
as well, right? And we did not go to this place, but our friends went to the Tillamook Cheese Factory.
Is that what it was? Cheese factory?
It's cheese.
Okay. We got to go there, you and I. Got to check it out.
Well,
No.
I don't know.
Maybe not. Okay,
Well,
our
you
friends
can
went,
go
so we don't
there.
know.
Yeah,
We don't know,
but they enjoyed it.
Okay.
They love cheese, they love dairy, and they had a great time there.
for the cheese lovers, not the
cheese-
vegan people.
For the cheese lovers, and I guess ice cream lovers, because they left with like a true Oregon strawberry shake made with Oregon strawberries.
Very nice.
And the dairy there. So anyways, those places. And
You know what should also be on this list, and it's on our list, although we have not been yet, is OMSI, the Science Museum,
Yes.
which is one of the best science museums in the nation. Mm-hmm. So we got to go there.
Yes. Okay, now
Okay.
food cards.
Okay, this is the last segment.
You guys.
Right, the last part of our
Yes.
Oregon to-dos, or Portland to-dos.
Okay, why don't you talk about the food cards?
Okay, one thing that we love about Portland is all of the small businesses. So the food establishments that you're going to see around Portland are not your typical chain restaurants for the most part. Yeah, you'll see Kentucky Fried Chicken. Yeah, you'll see, or will you see a Marie Callender's? I'm trying to remember.
I think out here, no, I
If
think you
you've seen
see out here it's Sherry's Pies or something.
Sherry's
That's kind of
Pies,
like
or
that.
like Cheesecake Factory. Okay, so yeah, you have all of those nationwide restaurants like Denny's and Arby's and stuff like that. You don't see that much of it here, and that's so refreshing.
Yes.
Instead, what you see a lot of are food cart courts. What do they call them here?
Yeah,
food pods, food cart pods,
food trucks.
food trucks that are in a permanent establishment on a neighborhood block. So one of our favorites is the Piedmont food carts.
Yes.
We love Rollin' Fresh. Mm-hmm. We love Burmasphere.
Yes, Burmasphere.
Yeah, those are our two favorites.
Oh, well,
But
that's
there's
the only
also
thing
a
I've ever-
specialty vegan cart there. There's a
Whimsical
fish.
Folly.
Yep. There's a Mediterranean food cart.
Mm-hmm.
There's a Mexican food cart. There's a Japanese food cart. There's
There's spaghetti about it.
yeah, that's right.
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti about it.
There's a beer
There's
cart.
a beer cart there
For specialty
so
beers.
All of these
There's
different
a cat. There is.
It's not a cat
There's
cart.
a food truck.
It's
there's
just-
a resident cat there.
Yes.
And we loved seeing his little area that he had a shark bed and his food and water.
He had his own little cat bed.
He did.
In the shape of a
Love
shark.
that. Yeah.
And his food area, so they seem to take good care of him and love him, and we love that. Mm-hmm. But man, you just walk up to this neighborhood block that has a bunch of food carts parked on it, order your food, and they have a nice seating area, all kinds of tables and benches, and they even have enclosed areas for when the weather turns cold, where they have outdoor heaters. So And this type of situation you'll find all over the city. It's just delightful.
I know.
love
I
it.
know. I'm so
So
excited
you
about
gotta,
that.
if you visit Portland, you gotta eat at food carts.
Yes. Okay. And then just a few, I'll just run
Okay.
a few. So since we're on the topic of food,
Yes.
Back to Eden is one of my favorites. Everything there is vegan and gluten-free. However, I would recommend you going there for breakfast or brunch. The dinner menu it's okay, but there's so many more offerings for breakfast and brunch. Yum, yum, like totally yum. Also Victoria, which has also a lot of vegan options as well. And they have a fabulous, very beautiful bar there, and great drinks. You can also check out Expatriate, which is a small bar,
A neighborhood bar.
neighborhood bar that has a more like a appetizer style menu.
It's really good, guys.
Really good.
Very impressive food there.
Yeah. I mean, I had fries, which doesn't sound so fun.
But they were fancy fries.
But they were Indian spiced fries. And they also had, we had the broccoli. But if you're vegan, you have to kind of pick around things. So expatriate might not be really for vegans.
That's true.
But if you are not a vegan, that would be a place to go. They also love Prince there. And they have a DJ there that plays music, and it's really fantastic.
All right. Vinyl.
Yes.
He's playing vinyl records.
He is.
And that's it. Is that our list?
Well, we have I have Pok Pok. Okay. We actually went to the wrong Pok Pok. We went to the one, there's several locations. We went to the one closest to us that did not have the special vegan thing that I wanted to try, actually. But it was still good. What I had was good. And they also had this amazing whiskey sour there. So
that was was that the first time you had a whiskey sour?
Yeah, and it was fantastic. Right. Well, it was a tamarind whiskey sour. What I originally wanted there was a salted plum vodka
with like a
Collins.
in it.
Yeah, but they didn't have that. So if you are vegan, look for the Pok Pok that has the more of the vegan options.
Okay. Have we gone through our list?
I think we went.
Okay.
List. That's crazy.
All right.
So we'll just list this in the notes.
Sure.
Would you say?
Yes.
Just like links?
Yes.
Right. We don't need to have like robust explanations
that's a
of
lot
places.
of links, let me tell you.
But we don't have to have like all like explanations.
Oh, no. We're not going to be like Lonely Planet tour guide or anything.
Okay.
Okay. That's it. That's our episode. And we just, again, want to bookend this with appreciation for face-to-face, human kindness, acknowledging each other, cultivating and honoring, not just politeness, but really seeing each other.
Yes,
right?
Exactly. Part of really seeing each other.
Yeah, and honoring each other as citizens and fellow members of our collective society.
Yes. That's good, Toast. I like
well,
that.
you know, I'm inspired. I'm going to cap this off by mentioning
Tell
this
them
book
what it is. Yes.
by Timothy Snyder. This book called On Tyranny, 20 Lessons from the 20th Century. And lesson number 12 is make eye contact and small talk. It is part of being a citizen and a responsible member of society. It is also a way to stay in touch with your surroundings, to break down social barriers, and understand whom you should and should not trust.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah. I mean, this is the backdrop of the times that we are living in. So as we go about our days out there in the world, whether you're in America or somewhere else, it's not just nice, it's important, critically important to be aware of the impact that each of us has and how important it is to see each other and really honor each other, look each other in the eye and be kind.
So thank you so much for listening, you guys.
And just hanging out with us. Yes, taking deep breaths as we continue forward.
Yes.
In this time.
Yes.
All right. So, as always, you can get our email. Links are all in the show notes. Check it out. And until next time,
this is Sienna.
And this is Toast. Encouraging you to love life, live free.